think we were listening to that interview, Louis, and reading between the lines, you were saying that it doesn't seem like he's actually talking to his players the way that he's done that interview, the way he's conducted himself. He's actually saying that his players are not good enough, are not up to par.
I think, yeah, I think in so many ways you could see that there is like a lack of communication wherever it could be with Pogba at the time. There is like a friction or whatever, and I'm talking about terms of improvement. You can't be doing the same mistakes week in, week out. It seems like they don't have the information, or maybe the communication is not right, the way he said. So I feel like, yes, but to be fair to him, it's probably the best interview I've heard from him. Positive, and he's been fair even to the referee. I like the fact that he actually take the defense of whatever Pogba has done. It took notice that, he's courageous and we won the game. And he find, I think, a great way to communicate positiveness. And this is not his speciality.
No, it's not one of his strengths. And I prefer Mourinho when he's a little bit more light-hearted and he cracks a joke. And part way through there, he said, well, Pogba takes a better penalty than me, and he had a cheeky little grin on his face, which is good to see.
Yeah.
But in man management terms, again, you go back to, you compare Pep Guardiola at Man City and his man management of his players and that of Mourinho. Well, it doesn't compare to me. Jurgen Klopp with his players and Mourinho, they don't compare. Sarri at Chelsea, seems to have, engendered a real kind of bond between him and the players. And this season, there hasn't been a great bond, I don't think, between Mourinho and his players. There really hasn't.
Louis, how would you deal with a manager that's very hot and cold? Like you said, one week he's positive, and next he's...
I don't like, even if it's a coach or a man, citizen as a man who is like hot and cold, I don't like it. But I will be, because I don't like deal with ego. So basically, if I feel like it's ego between people, I just like break the ice. I will say, I will speak. Communication for me is key. So wherever I felt like it's the only way. It's as a competition goes, it's all about like getting a way to improve. So if it's ego, I will erase it. If it's like weaknesses, I will erase it. I want to win. And this is where I think I asked all the players, when they feel like it's all about like dealing with ego, whoever is the manager, the staff itself, or yourself, you have to take it on board and just try to find a way to improve. Those generations, sometimes I see that it's all part of their own comfort, and I don't like that.
So maybe it's just not this generation, but back in your generation, have you ever had a situation where you had difficulties with a manager? Clearly not with Sir Alex, so any sort of scenarios that's similar to what Jose and Pogba and everyone else is facing?
I can remember, for example, that I was not really happy with the combination with David Moyes, for example, because I was like a player with, I would say, flair and a bit more instinct, and had to do my like defensive duty and all that, which I find normal because the club was different, not attacking as much as Manchester United. So I understand, but it was all about communication. So to break the ice is very important. Both have to be humble. It's not because you're manager that you have to treat me shit. I don't like that. The term is like really important. In the dressing room, we have to be like bold and able to take any words, because the aim for the manager and the player is to improve. And you have to like that. You talk me like really rough, but I know what you want. If you say it because you actually try to impress other people, I won't take it. You have to really aim for improvement. If you want to really to get to the head, the man management is very important. You have to pick the right words.
Yeah, I think it's important that the coach trusts his players. So, I look back to my playing days, and there was one particular coach who phoned me up at home on a Friday night to check that I was in before a game. Well, number one, that implied that he didn't trust that I was thoroughly professional. And number two, it also told me that he didn't know me, because I was never going to be out the night before a game. I was far too professional. Maybe I should have done occasionally. I might have played better. I don't know. But, maybe I should have relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
So, that relationship between head coach and players is absolutely crucial.
Yeah,
but do you think it's very subjective? Is it like individual case, you know, or have you seen that happen to your other teammates as well? Did he call your other teammates as well, or was it just you?
Well, I think that's a good question. I don't know, and I don't think I ever asked the question. But that didn't matter to me because it was him calling me. But I think the coach does have to manage different players differently because we are all different. You know, we respond positively to certain things and negatively to others. And you know, Louis might be slightly different to me. What gets me motivated and feeling good about myself maybe doesn't work for him. So as a coach, you have to be a psychologist as well.
That's what I mean. And I think there is a type of communication that you have maybe with Martial, with Rashford, and maybe a different one with Matic. Of course, there are different players, but Matic, who is like very reliable, he's going to do the job. Pretty much every game is going to be 8 out of 10. Bang. But Martial need to be like, oh, on this game, you need to have like that, like openness, like freedom and stuff like this. And in other games, you have to understand that, oh, you have to sacrifice yourself. It's Juventus, maybe you have to defend more, whatever. And this kind of responsibility, whoever is like out of your comfort zone or in your comfort zone, you have to accept it because games are different.